Hi you guys, it's Devin Bats back with another video. I've been having issues with YouTube. I haven't been able to upload the videos that I've recorded. So hopefully this one will upload and it'll all reach you. Y'all gotta excuse me tonight. I'm in my car. I have my bonnet on. I don't usually do the whole bonnet gang, but I just finished cooking, feeding the kids, took a shower, and I decided to come out and have a conversation with you all. I still work overnight, and as you know, that's my time where, me and God, we connect. I have my music, I have my worship videos and everything, and I decided to shut all of that off a couple of days ago. And while I was working, I was having a conversation with God, and I just get right into it because he was speaking to me again tonight while I was cooking. So lately I've been feeling stuck. I've been overwhelmed. I've been frustrated. I've still been doing the work, the self-work. I've been helping other people figure out their purpose and, teaching them what I learned during my self-evaluation and my self-work and everything. Because it may sound like, basic common sense, but a lot of people, they don't know this stuff because they're going through their own thing and they don't know how to start their own healing journey. So I use what helped me and I help other people with it. But lately, I haven't been wanting to be bothered by anybody. I've been feeling stuck. I've been frustrated. I've been moody. I just been feeling fed up, and the whole feeling of feeling stuck, I just hate it because I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like to know what my next move is going to be. I like to plan ahead and stuff like that. But when you have this overwhelming feeling of not knowing what to do next, not knowing what's coming next, you have no choice but to trust God. High beams in my face. But anyway, I was at work and God just pretty much showed me myself because I'm like, God, what am I doing wrong? Why do I feel so stuck? I have all these ideas. I have all this stuff that I want to do. And, things just been kicking off for everybody else. And it just seemed like I'm just being stuck. And then I kept getting these messages of, you're pretty much being hit and, God's perfecting some things in you. Some things still need to be purged out of you. That way he can use you the way he want to use you. You can't really compare yourself to other people. I've never been a jealous person or a person to compare myself to other people because I know that, they have their own experiences in life that, paved the way for them, where they're going and what they're doing. And we are all different. And I understand that. I always have understood that. But it comes to a point where you just get tired of just feeling stuck. Like the older you're getting, it just seems like you're doing all of this stuff and it's like nothing's moving, nothing's going right, nothing's, not what you want to do. And, I had to just stop for a moment and just say, you know what, this is not me. I don't usually compare myself to other people and their success. So I got off of social media because all this is real. At some point, we all do it. And it just kind of caught me off guard that I was doing it. And I'm like, all we see on social media is people highlight reels. We don't really see the behind the scenes of what they went through and all this. They just giving us the good parts of it. We're not getting the bad parts of what it is that they're doing and the downside to them having success and stuff like that. And I just had to check myself, and I also had to realize too that, in some areas I wasn't doing everything that I was supposed to do that God told me that I needed to be doing. And when you're disobedient to the Spirit, when you're disobedient to God, he's going to withhold your blessing. Yeah, he have your blessing, but he's going to withhold it because you're not doing every single thing that he wanted you to do. Yeah, we all fall short, but we can't use that as an excuse to why we want to hold on to certain things in order to make us feel comfortable, because the shift that God is taking us in is uncomfortable. So I was just moving, I'm moving along, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm like, okay, but I constantly would hear God telling me to stop doing this and stop doing that. Don't do this, don't do that. And it can be little small things, and I will still be doing it because I'm like, okay, I'm getting all the big stuff out of the way. Things are going okay. But it's the small stuff that can do the most damage. So I had to sit back and reflect on that, what it was that I didn't need to be doing. I cut that out completely. And, including, he had been told me, for example, some of the music that I would listen to is not the type of music I need to listen to at this point in my life. So I had to cut that. Social media was another thing. Stop looking at social media. Because I would look at it a lot in my downtime because, I have my children, I'm constantly working. I'm always doing something. I'm never sitting down to really rest. So when I sit down, I get on my phone and, I can be looking at something on YouTube. And then I get on Instagram or something. And then it's like boom, boom, boom. Like the stuff that you see on Instagram or on Facebook, it can really make you feel bad about your own life as if you're not doing enough when really you're doing just fine. You get up every day, you feed your kids, you clean your house, you're cooking, you're going to work, you're doing your self-work, you're journaling. Even if you started writing a book like me, you start writing a book and stuff. But it's like when you get on social media, you see people who are your same age and they have all of this success, and it's kind of like, what am I doing with my life? When really you're doing just fine. You exactly what God has placed you. You right where you need to be. So I cut out social media because what God had to bring to my attention was like, what we see on social media is not really the reality. Social media is fake. And you may see somebody and they got their whole life put together, but you don't know what they're going through behind closed doors. Everything can be a hot mess. They can look rich and be broke. They can have all these followings and they're insecure. People are in abusive relationships. People have vices and stuff to keep them sane and to keep them going. And we don't know any of that because we're looking at pictures. We're looking at some of the quotes that they put up. And it seems like their whole life is just perfect. And it can make you feel like your life is crap when you are doing an amazing job. I had got to the place where I just felt low and I just felt like my success that will happen. It just got to the point to where it felt like my success is just so far off. Like sometimes it just felt like it wasn't coming at all. And I was scared that I was falling back into depression because I had always battled depression since I was a little kid. And I haven't battled depression in a few years. So it's like the thought of it just kind of, set me back in my mind. And I'm like, I hope I'm not going to fall into depression because of this. And I'm doing just fine. I have to reassure myself every day that I'm doing just fine. But on the other hand, when you're not doing everything that God has called you to do, when you're not doing everything that He told you to do, that's a sign that you're not ready for what He's about to give you. You may have prayed to be in a certain place in your life, but what God has for you is much bigger than that. And sometimes I feel like we need to be careful what we pray for. We have to, watch what we wish for. Some people say wish, some people say pray. I would say pray. Some of the stuff that we ask God for, we're afraid of it. And the reason why I say we're afraid of it is because when He tells us in order to get here, in order to get to this place where I'm taking you, you have to do this, this, and that. So we'll only do enough. And then when we get slightly uncomfortable, or if we feel like we're doing a little too much of what He asks us to do, it becomes unfamiliar to us. So we get uncomfortable, and then we'll go back to doing something that we don't need to be doing anymore because it makes us feel comfortable again. It makes us feel safe that we can go back and do this when God is telling us to do this because He's trying to bring us here. And it's because we're scared of what He really has for us because it's something that we can't even imagine. It's so big, we can't really imagine what He has for us. That's why you see some people and they say, okay, well, I prayed for this, but I got that, and it was much bigger than what they had prayed for. You have to prepare yourself for that. And I had to realize, God speaking to me saying that, sometimes I'm afraid of what I prayed for. So that's why sometimes I go back to stuff that's familiar, whether it's listening to the wrong thing, being around the wrong people, or just not doing what he asked me to do at all, and then make up an excuse for it. And a lot of us we do that because we want to feel comfortable. We want to feel safe again. So that was part of what he was dealing with me with. Tonight, the other part to that, because I stopped doing the stuff that I was doing, stopped listening to the stuff I was listening to. I wasn't really being around the people that I would usually be around. Like, I cut a whole lot of stuff off. And tonight, it was like he revealed to me as well that for a lot of people, we constantly be around people that we don't need to be around. Cause it's like you get this revelation in your mind. It's like, okay, I want to be here. This is where God is taking me. You know all of this. You're doing all the work to even get there. But it's like, if you let the enemy continue to speak to you, telling you that you're not enough, that you're not doing enough, everybody's going to always be more successful than you. If you let that get in your mind, then you're going to come to this place where you are depressed, where you aren't going to try as hard as you was before because you're not motivated, because with your thoughts, the devil then beat you down so bad with it that you're not doing everything that God needs you to do. You're not doing what you need to do. Really, you're not really doing what you need to do. And if you get in that place and then you get comfortable in that place, because I had been in that place, and it's like, it's hard to even do the smallest things. Like, getting out the bed was the worst struggle for me. Like, it was just so hard for me to get out of the bed. First thing in the morning, my kids get to arguing with each other. Time they get up, they find something to argue about. And it's like, you're already having a hard time getting out of bed. You don't feel like yelling at anybody. You look around and see little small stuff in the house not straightened up. You start straightening it up, and it's kind of like you just sit down and you just looking around like you just don't feel like doing anything. And I had to get to the point where stuff was just building up in my house. Like, I would clean, here and there, but not like how I usually clean. And I'm like, Lord, I just feel so depressed. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like cleaning up. I don't feel like cooking. Like, it was just, yo, the struggle was real. And then I would go to work, and all the gossip just messes with my spirit. Like, it's a lot of predators on my job. It's a lot of people that gossip on the job and smile in each other's faces. Like, I can look at people and I can look them dead in their eye, and I can see the spirits that they have on them. And it was just a lot of hard work. And being spiritual is not easy. But back to what I was saying, because I'm going for the whole tangent, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Let's just say I was going through it mentally. I was going through it physically, because I still haven't got my energy back from having my hysterectomy back in November. They say you're supposed to have energy after that. What energy? Where? I ain't got no energy. So anyway, when you doing everything you're supposed to do to get to where God want you to be, you'll feel alone a lot. People are going to fall off, but it's all because the stuff that you used to do and the people who you used to be around, you don't need to be around them anymore. It's the reason why all of this stuff fell off, because it can't go with you where you're going. And when you allow your circumstances to pull you down to the point where you almost in depression and you feeling like you on the bottom like I was, the people who's supposed to look up to you, the people who you surpassed and everything, they'll be to surpass you when you are the blueprint for them. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? You've been so far down for so long because you got comfortable there that the people who you're supposed to be helping, the people who's supposed to look up to you, they gonna come up and surpass you. And God put that in my spirit. It's so many people that look up to me. So many people that I'm supposed to help. It's not meant for me to just stay low the way I was feeling. I wasn't supposed to be in that place. Yeah, we're all human and we go through it, but you cannot stay there. You have to give that fear. You have to give that depression. You have to give that anxiety. All of it a deadline. I don't care if you have to set an alarm. You have to give it a deadline. We all go through mental struggles. We all go through physical struggles. We have our highs and our lows. We can be up 1 minute doing fine. You got all this energy. You have all these ideas and everything that you want to bring to life. And then just like that, you can be down. You feel depressed. You feel the weight, like the weight of the world is all over your shoulders. And it happens. It all happens. But you have to get back up. You have to. You got too many people watching you. You have little ones that look up to you. You have generational curses to break. You cannot afford to just be getting by because you feeling sad or you down. Not all the time it's linked to sleep. You can get 8 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, 10 hours of sleep, and get up feeling more tired than you did before you went to sleep. I was going through that as well. Because it's something in your spirit. It's something in your soul that need to be purged out. It's conversations that you need to have with yourself. It's conversations that you need to have with God. That's the only thing that's going to help that. You got to let old stuff go. That's why I'm so happy that the season fall has come in, because it reminds me of how beautiful it is to let old stuff go. The leaves turn brown. It's beautiful. They turn orange, all kinds of colors. They fall off. Let the old stuff fall off. And then spring, everything bloom. Fall and spring is my favorite times of the year. When everything grow back in, it's so beautiful. It's so bright. It's so vibrant. You have to let old stuff go. Time fall came in. It's like something in my soul, something in my spirit just shifted. And I could feel it in my sleep. I was in a deep sleep, finally. And it's like my body could feel when the season changed. And I remember just a deep breath in my sleep. And it's like it felt like a weight was lifted. Everything just felt fine. I was in a dark place and everything felt fine. I would fix myself up for work. I would go to work smiling, giving advice to people. And I was in a dark place. Because I was determined that I wasn't going to let that get me down. You have to keep going. I know it feels good when you finally get rest, but that's when the devil gets you. Oh, she resting now. Let me flood her mind with all this negative self-talk about, how nothing going to go right in our life. How, oh, that plan ain't going to work. Oh, that idea sounds stupid. Let me just continue to kick her while she down. Let me continue to kick him while he down. It happens to all of us. Everything starts with a thought. Time you have one bad thought, whether it's intentional, you thought about it, or it just came to your mind, because sometimes stuff will just come to our mind. We're like, Lord, where did that come from? Whether it's intentional or whether it just came to your mind all of a sudden, you have to counteract that with something positive immediately. Because the more you think about that negative thought, the harder it is for you to get over it and to get rid of it. So I want you all, when you have a dream, if you asking God for something, please do the work and do all of it. Don't be scared of what he's going to bring back to you. You're going to have some moments where you're down. If you ever read any success story or heard any success story about somebody getting everything that they ever dreamed of, you're not going to just get there with one straight shot. You're going to have some pit stops along the way. You're going to have to fall and get back up. You're going to have to get dirty. You're going to have some disappointments. You're going to be rejected. You're going to be abandoned and by yourself. A lot of stuff is going to fall off, and that's okay. I have to remind myself of this daily. You have to renew your mind daily. The Bible says you have to renew your mind. So you have to renew your mind daily to get where you need to be. Continue breaking those generational curses. Continue breaking them. I had a rough upbringing. I am not raising my child nowhere near like how I was raised. Life taught me a lot of lessons. And I'm happy to share those lessons with the people that I encounter, the ones that want to do better, the ones that want to change. Y'all keep doing the work. Results are not going to happen overnight. Be grateful for what you have. Figure out what the blessings are in your life. Because I had to identify what my blessings are. And I have so many blessings. And I had to go back to him and apologize to God and say, you know what? I'm sorry. Because I'm not grateful for what I got. Sitting back thinking about it, I have a nice life. A blessed life. But because I wanted what I always dreamed of and it hasn't gotten here yet, I got frustrated. I got discouraged. And for a moment, I got jealous. And when I felt jealous, I sold into that other person that I had got jealous of. And you know, I learned so much from this person already that it went away. Because we empower and uplift over here. That caught me off guard. I felt so bad. Like, I've never been jealous of anybody. And, you know, it's just like, you know what? And it was only for a brief moment. It wasn't a prolonged jealousy. It was probably like a few minutes of like, but it doesn't matter whether it's a few minutes, hours, weeks, months, years. It don't matter. Jealousy is jealousy. Even though mine only lasted a few minutes, it's all still the same. And it's not something that you should be doing because you don't know what this person went through. They may have went through the same things you went through, or worse, or maybe not as bad. But everybody has a story. My blessings and everything that I ever dreamed of is coming. But I have to continue doing the work on me. Devin got to continue doing the work on Devin. Devin got to continue to help other people. Devin have to continue to break generational curses. Devin have to continue raising her children the right way. Having a different mindset than I had a whole year ago. God has transformed my entire mind. I would never thought that I would be the woman that I am today. But I am. I may look a little rough right now. Lips all ashy, child. But y'all keep going. Y'all have got to keep going. Don't get discouraged. Don't get scared. Allow that blessing to reach you. Even if you feel like it's way too big, don't insult God by not taking it. He rewarding you for your good works. Take it. Don't worry about people that, you know, don't want to be around you anymore or don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't even worry about them because there's so many people in the world that's going to support you. You don't have to sit around waiting on these people's approval. They life in shambles. They got darn self. They got all this hatred, all these issues, and they want to sit back and they want you to beg them, or they want to sit back and act like they better than you, or they want you to be around them, tell them all your business, then they go around and they talk about you to the other people that you know. It happens. It happens. A lot of these people are miserable. But when you're on the right path and that's not what you desire to be around, that's not the life that you want, don't worry about them. Do not worry about them. Because they're not meant to go where you're going anyway. A lot of people are too broken to go with you. If they're not willing to listen to you and you're at this stage in your life, they really not going to listen to you when you get big. Oh, she thinks she this, she thinks she that, he think he this, he think he that. Oh, just wait. Just wait. Even though you have the tools to help them and you have tried giving it to them, they're not going to do it because that's not what they want. Or they'll just get it from somebody else because they know who you were when you were down. So don't keep being around people that don't want better when you know you want better. But I think that's all I came out here to say. I wanted to give y'all that little quick word before it left me. You know, these brain farts are disrespectful. So I just wanted to come out here and give y'all that. Hopefully this will upload. I really need it to upload. But if nobody told you today, I'm telling you, keep going. Everything's gonna be okay. I love you. I believe in you, because I do. And everything that you dreamed of, you are going to receive it. Just keep doing the work. Keep being obedient to God. Keep being obedient to the Spirit. Love y'all. Good night.